The Pfaff Ambition 1.0 sewing machine has some great stitches for overcasting. So whether you have a serger or you don't have a serger, if you do, sometimes it just doesn't have the right color thread on and you don't have to go very far. The other thing is when we don't have a serger, we need to know which stitches would be best and which foot to use. So we do have a couple ways to find overlock stitches. Number one, if you go ahead and choose the arrow down, it will bring up a whole list of all your stitches and what they're called. So if you're arrowing down, you can see that there are elastic stitches, honeycomb stitch, a bridging stitch, and then you get to blind hem, and then you get to some overlock stitches starting at stitch number 17. So if you look up here, you can kind of start to see what an overcast stitch looks like. And you'll start to see that it recommends foot number 3 and with the dual feed, because it does have the little groove for the dual feed. So these are stitches that go over the edge of the fabric so they stop unraveling. You can do this before you sew all your pieces together, so you're just doing it on a single layer, or you can do it after you sew your seams together and you kind of come back and combine the edges. But what's nice is there's a little pin in here, and as the needle jumps over the edge of the fabric, especially if it's a single layer, if you don't use this foot, that fabric rolls and kind of makes a curved edge. But with the pin in here, it supports the stitch and makes it so it stays nice and flat. Plus, this red bar is adjustable, so you can position this so your fabric can run right next to that and stay perfectly even as you go. So start by putting the foot on the machine, engage your dual feed if it's not already engaged, pick a stitch. Let's pick stitch number 20. It's just a little faster to stitch. It knows that we are going to be using the number 3 foot, and we'll make sure that it jumps over the pin and doesn't hit that pin and make it so, we break the needle. So as we set this up, I'm aligning the red guide right in front of the pin. So if it's been moved for like doing a blind hem, because we use the same foot for that, you can adjust this for so many different things. Even for some top stitching, you want to get right close to the edge, you can set that up for as you go. So you can see that as we sew, our goal is that we want the stitches to go off the edge of the fabric. And then that keeps the fabric from unraveling once you start to wash it. So check out other overlock stitches by touching the arrow down, and you can pick the one that's best suited for your fabric.